presents the Giants and the Dodgers. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Giants and Dodgers, the great rivalry, and a lot going on yet again. Giants arrive here 4.5 games behind San Diego. The Dodgers limp home, having lost 4 straight in St. Louis, and are 5.5 games behind the Padres. The Dodgers have beaten the Giants 5 out of 6. They swept 3 up in San Francisco. They won 2 out of 3 here earlier this year. It'll be Madison Bumgarner. We've heard a lot about this kid, a left-hander with a lot of talent, and the Dodgers have brought up right-hander James McDonald to go after him in Game 1 of the 3-game series. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this.
First to 3, the Dodgers and the Giants. The Dodgers begin the night 4th in the National League West. Our Lexus pursuing perfection. The Dodgers' dominance over the Giants. They've beaten the Giants 5 out of 6 this year, although most of those have been pretty close, 4 by 1 or 2 runs. Remember, they swept the Giants up at the phone booth in San Francisco, and the feature, of course, this year, a pinch-hit home run by Manny, who is out of the lineup, still nursing that calf sprain. Now, the Dodgers against the National League West, 23-6. How about the contrast? The Giants, who were in front of the Dodgers by a game in the division, are only 9-20 against teams within the division. Jim Watson and Steve Lyons in center field. So I guess, how do you win the West? Well, if you want to beat the West, you have to beat the West.
It's so much more important to win the West because of the imbalanced schedule. You're going to play so many more games against the teams that are in your division. So far, the Dodgers have been doing that. They haven't looked good outside their division. Those games are away. We're going to play the Mets and we're going to play Washington in this month. The rest of them are going to be games against the teams in this division. You're going to have to play well. All
right, let's take a look at our Fox Sports West poll question. The question is, how many victories is it going to take to win the National League West? Last year, the Dodgers had 95.
Well, yeah, 95 wins last year. They're not going to win 95 this year. I think it's going to be that middle number somewhere. 88 to 93 is probably going to win it. This is a tough question for me to answer. I don't know how many wins it takes. One more than any other team, I guess.
To get to 95, the Dodgers would have to finish 46-24. Last time James McDonald faced the Giants, came inside on Sandoval, and who's playing the feud? Oh, it's the Giants and the Dodgers. Get the kids around the TV. It's going to be a nice 3-day set.
Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealers today. By Shakey's. What's the distance from home plate to the pitcher's mound? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. By AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit att.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. And by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. It's the Giants and the Dodgers on a hot summer's evening, and if you're a baseball fan, you can't really ask more than that. The Giants and Dodgers meeting in Game 1 of a 3-game series. It's also their 7th meeting of the year. The Dodgers have won 5 of the previous 6, sweeping 3 in San Francisco and winning 2 out of 3 against the Giants here at Dodger Stadium. For the Giants, they're 4.5 games behind San Diego. The Dodgers are 5.5 back. And in Game 1, it'll be James McDonald and Madison Bumgarner. Game 2 tomorrow night will be Lincecum and Kershaw. But tonight's the night, Josephine, and we'll check the lineup. Andres Torres opens up in center field. Freddy Sanchez at second base. Aubrey Huff in left field. And the amazing youngster Buster Posey hits cleanup. Pablo Sandoval at third, Juan Uribe at short, Travis Ishikawa at first base, Nate Schierholtz in right field, and Madison Bumgarner on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers is James McDonald, a 25-year-old, making his season debut and his 5th Major League start, selected originally by the Dodgers as an outfielder, and in 7 career relief appearances against the Giants, he's done exceptionally well. His earned run average is less than 2. He was the minor league pitcher of the year for the Dodgers in 07 and 08. And, of course, patience is a virtue. And a reminder, he's only 25. Andres Torres with 2 home runs leading off games this year. 3 in his career checks in. Has a look at a strike. And the count 0-1. Torres, 32 years old, from Puerto Rico, originally signed by the Tigers back in 1998. And the left-hand hitter swings, doesn't get it. He is a switch hitter, batting left-handed against McDonald. He's 5'10", 190. In high school, he was quite a track star. Went to junior college in Miami. Takes one low and inside. And the count 1-2 strikes. 74 degrees at the start of the game. A beautiful evening. The 1-2 pitch, fastball, chopped up along first to Loney. He underhands to McDonald, coming over in time for the out. 1 away. Let's take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. Jamie Carroll, who has played 10 games last year in the outfield and 16 in his career. He's in left, and Kemp and Ethier, and no dramatic changes in the infield. It's Blake, Percall, Belliard, and Loney. Jamie Carroll played for the Indians and has played 16 in his career. 10 games in left field last year, 16 in his major league career. Joe Torre said he explained to him a few days ago, look out, you might see some play out there. So he's been taking some fly balls and is somewhat at home. We'll see. Freddy Sanchez with a strike 1 count, lunges at an off-speed pitch and doesn't get it. And the count 0-2. Pretty good if you can get Freddy Sanchez to lunge. At 1 year, won the batting crown, hitting .275. Takes a pitch down and away. 1 home run, 26 runs batted in for Freddy. And of course, when Sanchez comes here, he's home. The 1-2 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. And Freddy, who was born in Hollywood, lives in Burbank, strikes out. 2 down in the first inning. And the batter now will be Aubrey Huff. The Giants, the end of June, the beginning of July, were in a 7-game losing streak, and Bruce Bochy very calmly held his ground. He has faith in his ball club, and sure enough, they turned it around. And Huff is one of the reasons, because Bochy saw his club lose 7 straight, then win 8 out of 10 and 10 of 13. Aubrey Huff, left-hand hitter, takes high. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Huff with 17 home runs, 54 runs batted in. An Ohio boy fooled by McDonald's change and a 1-2 count. Originally signed by the Devil Rays 12 years ago. Big fella, 6'4", 230. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Aubrey fouls it away off to the left, out of play. Aubrey Huff, one of those kids who had a great mom. When he was 9, he asked her for a batting cage, and she scraped together about $2,500 and got him a cage. He takes high and away. She set it up in the backyard, then saved up some money and bought a pitching machine. And that was it. That's the beginning. And thanks to Mom, here he is. The 2-2 pitch to Aubrey Huff. Check swing. They're going to look at third. No swing, says Andy Fletcher. And the count 3-2 to Aubrey Huff. On deck is the boy a lot of people came to see, and that will be Buster Posey. 3-2 the count as Posey waits in the on-deck circle. McDonald ready and deals, and a ground ball to the right side. Nice big hop for Belliard. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for James McDonald. And at the end of half an inning, Giants nothing, Dodgers coming up. striking out one. And now here come the Dodgers, and they stack up this way. Rafael Furcal, Jamie Carroll in left field, Andre Ethier in right, Casey Blake hits clean up at third base. James Loney tests the tight hamstring before the game, found it would hold up, and so he's in the lineup. Matt Kemp, Ronnie Belliard, Russell Martin, and James McDonald. On the mound for the Giants, Madison Bumgarner. He's out of Lenoir, North Carolina, a #1 pick by the Giants 3 years ago. They gave him $2 million to sign. He won't be 21 until August the 1st. He is 6'4", 220, and they just think he's going to be around for quite a while, along with his catcher, Buster Posey. Leading off, Rafael Furcal takes off the play, ball one. Rafael hitting .333, 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in, and hitting right-handed. The 1-0 pitch on the way, a high bouncer to short, waiting for the hop as Uribe, then guns it over in time. And we have one away in the first inning. We'll take a look at the Giants defensively. Huff, Torres, and Schierholtz in the outfield. Sandoval, Uribe, Sanchez, and Ishikawa. And the battery, the youthful Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey. Jamie Carroll, the left fielder, checking in. Jamie hitting .289 with 11 runs batted in. It looks like, among other things, Manny Ramirez is going to have another MRI tomorrow as Carroll takes a strike. The report is that Manny still feels the tightness in the calf when he runs. He worked out early today, so we'll just have to wait and see. Carroll takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. For Madison Bumgarner, he has really kept the numbers 3 through 6 hitters in the lineup shut down. The next one is a strike, 1 and 2. In his 5 previous games, you take the numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 hitters collectively, they're hitting only .213 against him. He's also very smart, being ahead of the count 40% of the time. Little ground ball to third. Sandoval, good pick on the run, and throws him out. Nice play by the Panda, as they call him up north. And we have 2 down in the first inning. Andre Ethier checking in for the Dodgers. Ethier certainly would appear to be back on the beam. Red hot, then suffered the bad finger, but he's come back now hitting .318. 15 home runs, 55 runs batted in. I guess Ethier is an owl in the sense he does very much better at night than during the day. Hitting .362 at night, 197 in the daylight. And the first pitch from the left-hand hitter Bumgarner in for a strike. 0-1 the count to Andre Ethier. We told you that Bumgarner is ahead of the count 40% more than behind. So he really challenges the hitters. Fastball is fouled away. And now it's picked up and indicated fair, and the tag by Posey, and Ethier's out, standing in the batter's box. So Andre thought it was foul. Posey wasn't going to be an umpire, and Mike Everett was, and Posey alertly tagged him out. The end of an inning, no score. The highly heralded catcher first baseman takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Buster's full name is Gerald Dempsey Buster Posey III out of Leesburg, Georgia. And he takes a pitch low. For Posey, he has just been tearing things up, hitting .481 in July. He's 6'1", 205-pounder, takes off the plate, ball 2. He just turned 23, went to Florida State University. He was a pitcher shortstop in college, and then they felt he was a natural leader, and they put him behind the plate. 3-1 the count now to Buster Posey. Posey, a big star on campus at Florida State. 3-1 pitch is low and away, ball 4. So Posey, with a 12-game hitting streak, draws a walk, and the batter now will be Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval, a big favorite up north. They put the nickname Panda on him. Actually, it was Zito who did. And he's going through his usual routine before getting into the box. And I mean, he does it every single time. So Sandoval, a switch hitter, batting left-handed. McDonald delivers, and it's fouled away. And the count 0-1. Sandoval is ambidextrous. When he was about 9 years old, he was a left-handed throwing right fielder, but he idolized Omar Vizquel. You don't see very many left-handed shortstops, so he taught himself to play right-handed. Fouls another pitch away, and the count 0-2. And they say he throws equally well left and right. And eventually, 2 years ago, he was playing third base for the Giants, and the shortstop was Omar Vizquel. 0-2 the count. The pitch is flared into right field. Base hit. Down to second base goes Posey and holds. Ethier guns it into for call. So McDonald, who set the side down in order in the first inning, is being challenged now here in the second on a walk and a base hit to right. So Juan Uribe will be coming up with 2 on and nobody out. One of Uribe's problems, he's 7th in the league in grounding into double plays. He's grounded into 13. Of course, Sandoval, hitting ahead of him, has grounded into 19. So Uribe checking up with 2 on, nobody out. Second inning, no score. And McDonald looks down the barrel to get a sign from Martin. James ready and deals, and the first pitch in for a strike. Check swing from Uribe. Uribe hitting .253. He has some sock. 12 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Now the strike one pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. Uribe is from Bonnie in the Dominican, facing the 25-year-old James McDonald, the pride of Long Beach. Went to Long Beach Poly High School. James ready, and the strike 2 pitch on the way, and that's golfed at and fouled outside of third into the Dodger dugout and rattling around. So Uribe is still there. He's out of the Dominican, 5'11", 220. Originally signed by the Rockies. He'll be 31 this month. 0-2 the count to Uribe. McDonald ready and deals. Fastball very high. He hits 94 on the gun. 1-2 the count. Uribe had a pretty good homestand, hit .308. Talking about home, that's not exactly what the Giants know of late. They're in a stretch of 18 of 22 road games. The 1-2 pitch is popped in the air, foul, and out of play. How have the Giants done? 18 of 22 so far. They've won 10 of the 15. So for Bruce Bochy, a quiet, strong man. Bruce, soft-spoken. Would you just feel the strength coming from him? He was a catcher in his playing days. 1-2 the count to Uribe. Out of a stretch goes McDonald. Here he comes. Line drive into center, base hit. Kemp is charging, and they're going to hold up Posey at third. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. So Uribe a bullet into center. Sandoval moves to second. Posey goes to third. And with the bases loaded, nobody out, Travis Ishikawa will be coming up. Travis, the left-hand hitting first baseman, hitting .338. He has 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. So Ishikawa has a golden opportunity to get his ball club out in front. So Ishikawa takes a little time, checks in, and the first pitch to him is foul tipped into Martin's mitt, and they count 0-1. Ishikawa has been around. He was a pick by the Giants 8 years ago out of the state of Washington. 6'3", 220. His father was a third-generation Japanese. The strike one pitch is swung on and missed. So McDonald gets out in front 0-2. That changeup has been particularly effective so far, but he's in a mess now. Ishikawa back up with Posey, Sandoval, and Uribe all out there on the lines. And the strike 2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and it looked like a high changeup away. Boy, that is a big pitch for McDonald. That just floated high enough, and Ishikawa chased it, and down he goes. That's the second strikeout for James, and the batter now is Nate Schierholtz. For a couple of years, when Schierholtz came up, all we talked about, he came up to the Giants 3 years ago, we talked about the fact he never wore batting gloves. Well, he has changed. He wears a glove on each hand, swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Schierholtz from Reno, lives in Danville. Second-round pick of the Giants 7 years ago. Went to Chabot Junior College in Hayward, just across the San Francisco Bay. Strike 1 pitch on the way is low to Nate. 6'2", 215, well put together. So 1 out, bases loaded. No score, second inning. McDonald out of a stretch. Checks the runners, comes back, and it's taken low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. So Nate Schierholtz trying to cash it in, and McDonald trying to wiggle off the hook. 2-1 the count to Nate Schierholtz, hitting .252, and pops it up into shallow right field. Belliard goes out. The infield fly rule is called, and the runners have to hold. So the Giants have the bases loaded and nobody out, and it takes a strong man to watch a club come up empty. And right now, Madison Bumgarner, the pitcher, checking in at the plate. Bumgarner has 2 hits. He has struck out 5 of his 13 plate appearances. So McDonald trying to take care of another young pitcher. James from a stretch, ready now and deals, and it's a little roller to third, charging, and gloved by Blake, and they throw in plenty of time, and that's that. So the Giants had the bases loaded, nobody out, and came up empty. A great pitching performance for James McDonald, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. To you by the new film Dinner for Schmucks, in theaters Friday, July 30th, rated PG-13. James McDonald coming into the game. Against left-hand batters, they were hitting 198 against him. Right-hand batters hitting 293. Well, when the bases were loaded and nobody out, he had Travis Ishikawa, a left-handed hitter, and he struck him out. He had Nate Schierholtz, a left-handed hitter, and he got him to pop up. Then he was able to take care of the pitcher. But it's one of those things, a right-hand pitcher has more success against left-hand hitters, and it really helped him out at the top of the second inning. Now, as we go to the bottom of the second inning, the Dodgers will have Casey Blake, followed by James Loney, and then Matt Kemp. By the way, in case you wonder, the San Diego Padres, the division-leading Padres, are off today. Tomorrow, the Padres will start on the road in Atlanta. Tonight, the Rockies and the Marlins played a wild game. And here's the first pitch to Blake for a strike, 0-1. Casey hitting .251, 9 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Definition of terms, how do you call it a wild game? Strike one, pitch high. Well, here's why. Donnie Murphy hit a 2-out, 2-run home run, a walk-off home run against Houston Street. Florida beat the Rockies 9-8 after the Rockies had scored 4 in the 8th to take an 8-7 lead. Ubaldo Jimenez had an off night, allowing 6 runs, including a Mike Stanton home run. So the Rockies lose, the Padres are idle, and the Giants and the Dodgers rolling around at Dodger Stadium. Big bounce to the third, another nice pick by Sandoval to throw him out. And just like that, one away here in the second inning, and the batter will be James Loney. Several hours ago, when the ballpark itself was empty, down on the field there were only 2 people. James Loney at first base with a glove, and standing, maybe 70 feet away was Stan Conti. And Conti would throw balls on the ground or throw them in the air, and Loney would stretch and make the catch. And they were testing that tight hamstring. And after Stan moved him around a lot, made it tough, as a regular game would, Conti was satisfied, Loney was satisfied, and James is in the lineup. Strike one pitch, a big breaking ball away, and a 1-1 count. Loney hitting .309, 6 home runs, 64 runs batted in. Madison comes back with a pitch lifted back a third, down the line, a trio of Giants, but it's going to go back into the stands out of play, and the count 1-2. A little bit of a note on Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner's from Hudson, North Carolina. That's a town of about 2,800 people, about 90 minutes northwest of Charlotte. I love what he says about it. He says, you wave at everybody you see, pretty much. I figured. Hi, neighbor. The 1-2 pitch on the way off the plate. 2-2 the count. With his $2 million bonus, well, Madison paid off his mom's house, bought himself a new truck, replacing a truck that had 150,000 miles on it. 2-2 pitch is down and away. Ball 3. As you might expect, a country boy who was raised outdoors, fishes, hunts deer and bear, and he says he's killed 1 bear, and he has it mounted on the wall. Loney, meanwhile, a long drive but playable to left field, and backing up still on the grass is Aubrey Huff. So Loney goes reasonably deep, 2 down, and the batter will be Matt Kemp. So Madison Bumgarner went to rookie camp in Arizona 3 years ago, and he had a very tough time, not from the hitters. He just missed his family so much, he actually thought about quitting. Instead, he should have a long, successful career. So with 2 down, here's Kemp batting .258. Bumgarner deals, good fastball, swung on and missed, whipped that thing in on the hands. 16 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Of all the numbers that we have given you about Bumgarner, I think that one particular note is significant. Next pitch low and inside. So far in his young major league career, he is ahead of the count 40% of the time. His earned run average is 2.5. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, ground ball by the diving Sandoval and on through into left field for a base hit. So Bumgarner retires 5 in a row, gives up a single to left, and that'll bring up Ronnie Belliard. You know, the Dodgers opening day outfield comes to life, a series of collectible action figures, and the final giveaway game Thursday. Their first 15,000 kids, 14 and under, receive their own mini Manny, presented by Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Vicente Padilla talking to Manny Ramirez on the railing in the dugout. Ronnie Belliard fouls it back. Belliard was in an 0 for 22 slump and then came up with a couple of base hits against the Cardinals in that losing cause. Hitting .228, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. 0-1 the count. Bumgarner, coming into the game, had allowed 1 earned run in his last 14 innings. So now it's 15 2/3 with Kemp at first and 2 out. The strike 1 fastball in there. Once again, he'd way out ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's a kid who committed to the University of North Carolina at a South Caldwell High School. But that $2 million bonus caught his eye, shall we say. A throw to first, and they got Kemp picked off. The throw to Sanchez, who was faking, and tags him out. And that's another thing that the Giant pitching staff does exceptionally well, and that is pick off runners. So don't think Matt Kemp is the only one. He has joined a distinguished list. They have picked off 14 runners, and there's no score. Inning, no score in the ball game. Second time around for the Giant lineup, and Andres Torres takes ball 1. Torres grounded to first in the first inning, hitting .277, 8 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Whacks one into the right field corner, going up against the bullpen gate. Torres, a track star, will stop at second base with a long double. And for Torres, that would be 27 doubles. So he can really motor as he drives one to the bullpen gate in right field. So McDonald no sooner got out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the second inning. He's right back in hot water. So 27 doubles for Andres Torres, and the batter now will be Freddy Sanchez. So the local boy who struck out in the first inning checks in at the plate. McDonald looks back at second. Now comes to his hitter. Sanchez bunts foul off to the right, and the count 0-1. Giants and Dodgers use the sacrifice bunt almost the same amount. Dodgers 54, Giants 47, so not too much to anticipate when they get together. 0-1 the count. Loney and Blake are up at the corners. McDonald out of his stretch, and another look back at Torres. Now a full swing foul outside of third, and the count 0-2 to Freddy Sanchez. Sanchez, a remarkable ball player in the sense that he had to fight a physical problem. His right foot is a half size smaller than his left. He lacks certain muscles in his right calf to this day. He was born technically with a clubbed right foot. And despite that, here he is in the big leagues. The pitch to Freddy, a line drive at belly yard, no further play. So Sanchez hits it right on the button, but lines out to his opposite number. One away, and the batter will be Aubrey Huff. Aubrey Huff is a dynamite first ball hitter, so they have to be very, very careful with him. When he hits the first pitch, his batting average is .545. So McDonald has to be very careful. Aubrey waits and decides to back out as McDonald took a full turn to look back at Torres. So Huff trying to pick him up. No score, third inning. Another fake, this time a throwback, and again a very close play. Torres letting everybody know he's thinking about stealing third. He really put on a good fake, such a good fake, they almost got him getting back to the bag. Torres, by the way, is second in the National League in stealing third base. He has stolen third 4 times. The pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Aubrey Huff. So again, Torres takes that good lead off second for Call, trying to bird dog him a little bit, take a step away. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. McDonald deals, and he's off the plate. No doubt distracted a little bit by Andres Torres. So Torres isn't kidding when he takes that walk down towards third, not after stealing third 4 times. For the year, Torres has stolen 17 out of 21. So he's trouble. The 2-0 pitch on the way, off speed for a strike. That curveball in the, maybe in the high 70s. It was big, slow rainbow type looking down. 2-1 the count to Aubrey Huff. He's been the big guy for the Giants, leading them in nearly every offensive category. Belliard plays him 5 feet at least out on the grass. The 2-1 pitch is hit over Belliard's head into Andre Ethier's glove. And all Torres can do is stand at second base. So on the fly ball to right field, Torres shakes up the Dodgers a little bit by moving around off the bag. And the batter now will be Buster Posey. Posey has a 12-game hitting streak, which is remarkable in itself. But how about this? He has not only been the hottest hitter in the majors of late, he is a Giant rookie who has 2 separate double-digit hit streaks this season. Right-hand batter hits it down the right field line, foul, out of play. 0-1 the count. He's the 3rd Giant rookie to have 2 separate double-digit hit streaks. Sounds like an announcer's audition. Chili Davis had a 15-game streak and an 11. Orlando Cepeda 17 and a 13. Strike 1 pitch is swung on, hit to center, charging. It is Kemp, base hit. Here comes Torres. He will score. And the Giants get on the board, and wouldn't you know, it's Buster Posey who comes up with the key hit. You know, the Giants have won 9 of their last 11. Posey had 19 hits, 16 runs, and RBIs in 8 of those 9 wins. And you can see now as he walks up and singles home Torres. He also extends his hitting streak to 13. So Posey base hit, run batted in. The Giants finally break through and lead McDonald and the Dodgers 1-0. And the batter is Sandoval, and he sprays one foul, second deck off the Dodger dugout. 0-1 the count to Pablo. He singled to right field in the second inning. Giants 1 run, 4 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. Sandoval with a half a dozen home runs, 38 runs batted in, and he hits one to the gap in left center, and it's going to go through. Carroll finally goes to the wall to get it. They are waving Posey. Here's the throw by Furcal. He is in there. And it is 2-0 Giants with Sandoval standing at second base. So Posey knocks one in, brings one in, and the Giants lead 2-0. Martin did everything he could to block the plate with his leg, but Posey, running under a full head of steam, scored from first base with 2 out. Carroll was the one who finally retrieved the ball at the base of the wall, got it to Furcal, and made a great throw right on the money, but Posey just did get in there ahead of the tag, and in getting his foot underneath the foot of Martin, who then made the late tag. So 2-0 in favor of the Giants, and Juan Uribe squibs one in front of the plate. Martin throws him out, and that's the inning. But not before the Giants get 2, lead 1, and Buster Posey makes a big formal hello to the Giant-Dodger rivalry. It's 2-0 San Francisco. Inning. Buster, talking to the plate umpire Mike Everett, has just been a one-man gang who repeated during the last 9 wins. Posey had 19 hits, 16 RBIs in 8 of those 9 wins, and he had a key hit tonight, knocked in one and scored one. Ronnie Belliard takes a strike, and the count 0-1. 2-0 Giants, bottom of the third. Belliard, Martin, and McDonald. Ronnie swings and whistles one foul over the roof of the Dodger dugout, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. You know what so often happens, and it might very well have happened to McDonald. Posey driving in a key run as Belliard takes high. McDonald got out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation in the 2nd inning. But it probably took a little extra out of him starting the 3rd. The next one to Belliard at his feet, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Whatever, then again, it might have been the 2nd time around for the Giant hitters, who were badly fooled looking at his changeup in the first 2 innings. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit to short. Uribe was playing on the grass and throws him out. So Belliard taps to short, 1 away, and the batter will be Russell Martin. Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey. The future has arrived for the Giants. Bumgarner now has allowed 1 earned run in his last 16 innings, and technically 16 1/3 as Martin checks in. Russell, as you may know, has been playing with a bad thumb, hitting .241, takes off the plate, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Russell 5 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Bumgarner turns on the rubber in the 1-0 pitch. Fastball fouled away, upstairs off to the right, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. On deck, the left-hand hitting James McDonald. One and one the count. 2-0 Giants. 3rd inning. Change-up is pushed into right field for a base hit. So I think Bumgarner did Martin a favor, a straight change, and Russell just took it the other way. You know, you can visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source, the Dodgers.com shop, except no substitutes. McDonald is bunting, in the air, foul, and the count 0-1. James McDonald would love to get a base hit. He is looking for his first major league hit. He is 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts, and he's grounded into a double play. 0-1 the count to James. Shows bunt again, then hacks away and hits it foul outside of 3rd. And when you're playing 3rd base on that kind of a play, you walk back and run your tongue very carefully across your teeth. Wow. So the Panda was coming in, and McDonald suddenly took the bunt off and took a shot, but hit it foul over Boa's head. Now he's bunting again, pulls the bat back, and the pitch is high. 1-2 to count. Boa going through the signs with 2 strikes. We'll see if they're going to try to have James bunt again. 2-0 Giants, bottom of the 3rd, 1 out. Bumgarner set. Madison ready, deals the bunt attempt foul back, and that will do it. So McDonald strikes out trying to bunt. And the batter now will be Rafael Furcal. Rafael Furcal, as you know, a switch hitter. Bigger numbers batting left-handed, but he is still holding his own, hitting right-handed. He's batting .317 from this side of the plate. And Rafael checking in with Larry Boa. Furcal, as you probably know if you've been following the Dodgers, been a red-hot hitter. 28 of the last 33 games. Bumgarner out of a stretch. Left-handed goes to first, almost threw it away. A nice save by Ishikawa. Otherwise, that ball is down the line. Giants 2 runs, 5 hits. Dodgers no runs, 2 hits. A single left by Matt Kemp, who was picked off, and a single to right on a changeup by Russell Martin. Now the pitch of the plate, very high and away. Ball 1, 1-0. Rafael in and out of the box. And now something in his eye, so timeout for the moment. Martin, a pretty good base runner, but the Dodgers have been alerted. A strength of the Giants is picking off runners. And the pitch to Furcal way outside. Ball 2, and Posey said, wait a minute. That's not the way you're supposed to pitch. 2-0 the count. So a 23-year-old left-hander, a 20-year-old catcher. Boy, talking about youth, how about the matchup for tomorrow night here at Dodger Stadium? Tim Lincecum, 2 years in a row, the Cy Young Award winner, against Clayton Kershaw. Now that should be a matchup. 2-0 the counter for call. And the next pitch way outside and high. Ball 3. So let's take a look at Bumgarner's numbers in the respect. He has walked 43 and he has struck out 91. So a little better than 2-1. He's behind 3-0 for call and now gets a strike. 3-1. On deck, Jamie Carroll. Dodgers have not done well against left-handers. They're 12-15. They're 5-8 at home. 3-1 the count to Furcal. The next pitch, a hopper to the left of shortstop Uribe, a quick flip to Sanchez, and they get the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 3, Giants 2, Dodgers nothing. To you by Jack in the Box. Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. 2-0 in favor of the Giants. Travis Ishikawa will start off the 4th inning. Travis made a good play to prevent a wild pickoff effort by Madison Bumgarner. However, with the bat, he struck out with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 2nd inning. Ishikawa batting .333. 1 ball and no strikes. And ball 2. We talked about his background hurriedly. His father, 3rd generation Japanese. His great grandfather emigrated from Japan to work on the railroads. And he promptly bangs it into left field for a base hit. So that's a half a dozen hits now for the Giants in 3 innings plus. The one other thing about the background of Ishikawa, his great-grandfather married a mail-order wife. I mean, that's really going back. A mail-order wife, and They lived happily ever after. So Ishikawa at first, 2-0 Giants in the fourth, and here's Nate Schierholtz. Ball one. Nate's mom is originally from England, and she was a runner who competed in marathons. And he hits a towering fly ball to right. Ethier going back to the track at the scoreboard, gone. And it is 4-0 San Francisco. So Nate Schierholtz hits his third home run of the year, 14 RBIs. And Nate got one up and knew what to do with it. Schierholtz had 5 home runs last year. So the Giants come here and immediately get out in front, adding to the Dodger miseries. Dodgers with a 4-game losing streak, and the Giants having won 10 of the last 13. First career home run against the Dodgers in 72 at-bats. And now here's Madison Bumgarner against young James McDonald, who's growing older by the pitch. Fastball lifted to right. Ethier is there. 1 away. So the Giants are leading 4-0, but for McDonald and the Dodgers, they have to shudder over the thought. The Giants, remember, in the second inning had the bases loaded and nobody out and didn't score. Otherwise, this would be a runaway. And here is Andres Torres, grounded out, doubled, scored a run. Strike. Oh, and 1 to count. Check swing. .60 pitches made by James already. We've had a couple of one-sided games between these two teams. Dodgers beat the Giants 10-8. The Giants beat the Dodgers 9-0 behind Lincecum. And in San Francisco, the Dodgers beat the Giants 8-2 behind Padilla. Right now, 4-0 Giants. 4th inning. Did he? Yes, he did. The tag is on him, and that'll do it. So Torres is nailed. 2 out. And the batter will be Freddy Sanchez. That would be the 3rd strikeout for James McDonald. Sanchez struck out and lined out to Ronnie Belliard. 0-1. Freddie, the local boy, and I'm sure has a lot of friends in the stands, and he slaps it into right center. Base hit. Ethier over to cut it off, and Sanchez will hold with the long single. Freddie, remember, was the National League batting champion for the Pirates in 2006 when he hit .344. So Sanchez a single, and that will bring up the hot hitter again, Aubrey Huff. Sanchez cautiously. The Giants have 8 hits already, and that's hammered down the right field line, and that's going to be a foul ball. The Huff really got a hold of that thing, pulled it too much. 0-1 to count. Aubrey Huff. He has come into his own this year. Of course, if you go way back, 2003, he had a truly remarkable year. 198 hits, 34 home runs, 47 doubles, and 107 RBIs. I mean, you have to look up people like Chuck Klein, Babe Herman, Alex Rodriguez, Luke Gehrig, Frank Robinson, Rogers Hornsby, etc., to have a year like that. Aubrey tells a great story. When he was a kid growing up, he idolized Nolan Ryan. And he had tickets to see Nolan Ryan pitch. However, if he went to the game, he would miss batting practice from his own high school team. And his mom said, no, you're not going to miss batting practice. So he couldn't go. And Ryan pitched a no-hitter. And it's a shot into right field for Huff. Down to second is Sanchez. Though the Giants not finding any problems with James McDonald, and Rick Honeycutt is heading for the phone, and in a moment I'm sure there'll be somebody up in the pen. Loney trying to smother it, couldn't get to it, just did avoid the heels of Sanchez. So we're only in the fourth inning, and every Giant has a base hit with the exception of the pitcher, Madison Bumgarner. Though a rude welcome back for James McDonald. 4 runs and 9 hits. Carlos Monasterios begins to loosen up in the pen. And coming up will be the last guy in the world the Dodgers want to see, Buster Posey. Posey has walked, singled, drove in a run. He has hit in 13 straight, and then he scored on the double by Sandoval. Buster grew up on a 50-acre plot of land in Georgia. In fact, he says the front yard was so big it was a makeshift ball field. They'd use the yard for Little League practice when there were no other fields available. Married his high school sweetheart at the tender age of about 20. Oh and 1. When Buster was at school at Florida State, the fans sang a song, "Hail to the Buster." He singles, he doubles, he triples, he homers. Hail to the Buster. Well, they might be singing that in San Francisco. Little nubber foul, 0-2. For James McDonald, a very bitter lesson, in the sense 6 of the 9 hits he has allowed, even though he was ahead in the count. 4-0 Giants. 4th inning. 1-2 the count to Buster Posey. His coach at Florida State, Mike Martin, was the one considering Posey was a born leader and switched him from shortstop, where he was an All-American, to a catcher. Can you imagine you're the coach and you have this young kid and he's an All-American shortstop, and you say, you know, son, I think you'd make a great catcher? You've got to be kidding me. No. And the born leader indeed. 2-2. Deuce is wild. We have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 2 in, back-to-back 2-run innings. 4-0 San Francisco. Second base, Freddy Sanchez. Aubrey Huff at first. A hard-pressed James McDonald trying to get out of the inning. Got him. And Posey knew it and walks away. However, a 2-run home run by Nate Schierholtz And at the end of 3.5 innings, Giants 4, Dodgers nothing. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. By K-Swiss and by Jack Daniels. Fourth inning, 4-0 in favor of the Giants. Nate Schierholtz hits a 2-run home run, matching the 2 that the Giants scored in the third inning. So 4-0 San Francisco. Dodgers now trying to recover with Carroll, Ethier, and Blake. And a strike, 0-1. Jamie Carroll playing left field for the first time this year. Played everywhere but pitch, catch, and first base in his career. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamie hitting .287. One and 2. So, boy, so far, and it's only the 4th inning, but Bumgarner is living up to that number 1 note we had on him. 40% of the time he's ahead of the count. 1 and 2. Line drive. What a play by Sandoval. You know, the Panda doesn't look like he can do it. I mean, he's so big and so heavy, but he runs pretty well, and his reactions are marvelous at third base. Pablo Sandoval is listed 5'11", 260. That's a big bear. So 1 away, and here's Andre Ethier. Ball 1. Ethier topped the ball he thought was foul. Was picked up by Posey, who just tagged him out while he stood in the batter's box. 2-0. Four nothing Giants. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Fastball in there. That nice, easy delivery. You know, Bumgarner got his first major league victory July 6th in Milwaukee. He became the 2nd youngest Giant pitcher in the last 25 years to win his first big league game. Ethier nailed by Uribe, and we have 2 down in the 4th inning. We have a trivia question for you as usual, and you're going to see him tomorrow night. Tim Lincecum has won 2 straight Cy Young awards. Who are the only 2 pitchers ever to win 3 or more in a row? By the way, Lincecum and Kershaw will square off tomorrow night. Here's Blake. Ball 1 to Casey. We were talking about Bumgarner being so young, the second youngest in 25 years, and he missed being the youngest by 1 day. He was 20 years, 339 days. His teammate, Matt Cain, was 20 years, 338 days when he won his first game 5 years ago. There's also a lesson for Bumgarner in talking about Matt Cain. Ever since Cain came up, they raved about him that he was going to be the ace of the staff, and it has not worked. Cain is multi-talented, but he's not had the big years that they expected. He won 14 last year. He won 13 4 years ago, but that's not the guy you would consider the ace of the staff. And of course now Tim Lincecum has pretty much taken over that role. But one thing for sure, the Giants have a very talented young staff along with the veteran Barry Zito. So a 2-out walk to Casey Blake, and that'll bring up James Loney. Loney flied to left in the second inning. Ball 1. We had mentioned the fact that the Giant pitching staff leads in picking off runners, and they nailed Kemp in the second inning. So Blake takes a very conservative lead over there at first base. Little nubber. Bumgarner. That's that. Dodgers roll over in the fourth. Of course, the big play at third base by Pablo Sandoval, and it's still 4-0 Giants. Pablo Sandoval made that brilliant play on the line drive by Jamie Carroll. Starts it off. Ball 1. Kung Fu Panda. That was the movie. Barry Zito saw the movie, said, "We've got one on our club." And the Panda nickname was applied to Sandoval. Meanwhile, Barry Zito sitting alongside of Tim Lincecum. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sandoval does something that most players don't think about. Before the season started, he ordered 40 pairs of batting gloves from a manufacturer in Venezuela. If he has no hits in a game, he throws the batting gloves away. A drive almost misjudged by Kemp. That thing took off at the last minute. Well, Sandoval will keep those gloves on. He has 2 hits, single and a double. And the batter, Juan Uribe. For McDonald, he allowed the leadoff man to get on in the second inning, but got out of the jam. Gave up a double in the third inning. That meant 2 runs. Gave up a single to the leadoff man in the fourth inning. That meant 2 runs. So now he gets Sandoval, and here's Uribe, 1 for 2. Line down the line foul. The only Giant without a hit is the pitcher, Madison Bumgarner, who has grounded to third and flied to right. Strike. 1-2 to Juan Uribe. Uribe was originally signed by the Rockies, and he played for them in 02 and 03. That got away. The ball is live, and they'll record the out at first base. Uribe is angry because he's hollering at the first base umpire. He didn't think he swung. The plate umpire gestures. The first base umpire said he swung, and Uribe's fit to be tied. Still holding the bat. And the batter will be Travis Ishikawa. Four strikeouts for McDonald. Ball 1. In fact, make that 5. Check swing. 2-0 the count. And ball 3. Dodgers are backing up McDonald again in the bullpen. That's a strike. 3-1. McDonald would be the 4th hitter for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th. Fouled away. George Schierholtz is up in the Dodger bullpen. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Giants, no runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. And that's way outside. So Ishikawa draws the walk, and the batter will be Nate Schierholtz. And Schierholtz, after 71 at-bats against the Dodgers, connected for his first home run against Los Angeles. 72's the charm. He hit it with Ishikawa aboard. So Nate, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs, hitting .255. And a hopper to Furcal. Can't play to second. Throws on a hop to Loney. No runs, no hits, a man left. And at the end of 4.5, 4-0 Giants. Of the fifth inning, the Giants have 9 hits. Sandoval has 2, everybody else 1, and their pitcher Bumgarner without a hit. The Dodgers have only 2 hits and have not gotten a man to second base. That's a strike to Matt Kemp. Kemp singled in the second inning and was promptly picked off. He's the workhorse every day. Fouled away down the line. 0-2. As you know, Manny Ramirez out with the tight calf, and he will have an MRI perhaps tomorrow, and we'll find out more about it. Maybe he worked out early, but it still felt tight when he tried to run. So you might wonder how the Dodgers have done with him and without him. Well, with him, they have won 34 and lost 27. Without him, they are 15 and 16. 1-2 the count. Though Matt's still there hacking away. Game 1 of the 3-game series. Tim Lincecum and Clayton Kershaw tomorrow night. Barry Zito and Chad Billingsley in the final game of the 3-game series. And then the Mets will be in town for 4. Meanwhile, as Kershaw plays an imaginary piano, alongside him on his right is Brad Ausmus, who's making a great effort to return. Ground ball to the hole. A pick, but nothing else as it gets through. So Kemp will lead off the 5th inning and go 2 for 2 with a base hit. The batter is Ronnie Belliard, who grounded to short in the 3rd inning. Belliard, remember, looking back at last year, Belliard was not doing any differently, I don't believe, at the same time of the year. But when the Dodgers finally got him for the month of September, then he was a formidable hitter. 1-0 to Ronnie. That's in there. 1-1. The big difference, I guess, between the Giants and the Dodgers, even though the Giants are a game in front of them, would be how they do within the division. The Dodgers are 23 and 6. The Giants are 9 and 20. So for the Dodgers, it would appear beat the West. They certainly have had trouble once they get out of the division, and of course Boshi, with all of his fine pitching, has finally gotten his team to gel. One of the reasons would be the arrival of Buster Posey. There's a hopper to second. They get 1 and back to first. The double play, and I guess Bumgarner will get an assist. I think he got his glove on that to slow it down and give Sanchez a chance to catch up right there. And then you can see Sanchez to Uribe, etc. And for Belliard, that's been one thing to plague him as he bangs into an unfortunate double play. So 2 down, and here's Russell Martin. Ball 1. Martin single to right. He had a changeup. First pitch now was a fastball. 2-0. Madison Bumgarner, with a record of 2-2, has allowed 1 earned run in his last 18 innings, and now it's 18 2/3. Three and one. Boy, what a slider that was. A little bit more maybe than a cutter. Looked like a fastball, and it just jumped in at the hands. Great pitch. 3-2. And Martin's taken a while before getting back up after that one. That's a hitter's way of acknowledging a great pitch. And he got a straight. Nothing on that pitch. So Martin is 2 for 2. Remember the trivia question? We're talking about Tim Lincecum having won 2 straight Cy Young Awards. Who are the only 2 pitchers ever to win 3 or more? Greg Maddux, 4 straight, and Randy Johnson, 4 straight. Maddux won 1 with the Cubs, 3 with the Braves. In fact, he's the only pitcher to win in consecutive years with 2 different teams. Xavier Paul is now going to bat for James McDonald. Ball 1. So for James McDonald, 4 runs, 9 hits. He made 90 pitches in 5 innings. It might very well have been getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation that took too much out of him. Because then the next inning he gave up 2, and the next inning he gave up 2, and the next thing you know, he's out of the game. James only 25. Whoa. Xavier Paul really letting out. 2-1 to count. Four to nothing Giants, bottom of the 5th. Dodgers have 2 hits in the inning, but the double play slowed him down, and that's in there. 2-2. Paul hitting .253. Martin at first, held on by Ishikawa. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Off the plate. Fastball just missed. Waiting on deck, Rafael for call. Dodgers are 5.5 games back of San Diego. Their biggest deficit, May the 8th, they were 6 back. Martin goes and out at the plate. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left, and at the end of 5, 4-0 Giants. might very well be overlooked. And on this day in 1942 in Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, chasing a drive hit by country Enos Slaughter, he crashed into the wall and was carried off the field unconscious. His name, Pete Reeser. He had 293 as a rookie. The next year, only his second, he won the batting championship at 343. Then was all banged up and still hit 310. Went into the service for 3 years and never really came back. He was indeed accident prone. He had been beamed. He had crashed into a lot of walls. He even broke an ankle stepping back at first base on a pickoff throw. And above all, when he retired, he was barbecuing and a propane range blew up in his face. Yep, he might have been the best. Let's go back to this one. Carlos Monasterios will take over on the mound now for James McDonald. 1 ball and no strikes. Monasterios from Venezuela. He's only 24 years old. And ball 2, 2-0. James McDonald allowed the 4 runs and 9 hits in going 5 innings. Popped in the air, foul off to the right. Martin coming over, Loney coming over, no play. Madison Bumgarner up there at the plate is the only Giant without a hit. He grounded to third and flied to right. Two and one. Two and two. We're in the 6th. Giants scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Ground ball, base hit. Everybody joins the fun. Well, let's see about Bumgarner. He did have 2 hits coming into the game. So the 3rd hit of his young career, and everyone in a Giant starting lineup has at least 1 hit, and Sandoval has 2. Now Torres and Sanchez. Torres grounded out, doubled to right, scored a run, and struck out. And ball 1. Torres, who runs very well, and when he was at second base, he was a definite threat to possibly steal third. He has stolen third 4 times this year. Torres from Aguada in Puerto Rico, drafted by the Tigers and came up with the Tigers in 02. Hung around through 04, then went to the Rangers and the Giants last year, and pops it up shallow right, and it's an easy play for Aubrey Ethier. So Torres a fly ball to shallow right. Bumgarner holding at first, and the batter will be Freddy Sanchez, who struck out, lined out, and singled to right. Freddy 1 for 3. Sanchez has done his hitting so far this year when he is ahead in the count. And he strokes that first pitch, and a diving catch by Kemp. That line drive looked like it was going to sink. It held up just to give Matt enough chance to make the diving catch. Outfielders always say that ball hit at you is the toughest play of all. So Matt makes a fine play. And with 2 down, Aubrey Huff coming up. Remember that scouting report we gave you earlier about Huff? Good play by Matt. Huff, a notorious first pitch hitter and very successful. But this time just a long fly ball to center, and Matt's at the other end of it. So he just missed hitting that one. So no runs, a hit, a man left. 3 fly balls, one of them a line drive, and it's still 4-0 Giants. Doubles to the wall in the 3rd inning. Buster Posey is trying to score from first. It is so close, but Buster gets in there. Left foot before the tag by Martin. And the Giants at the time took a 2-0 lead. Then they added 2 more in the 4th. And they lead 4-0. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Giants. Posey has a walk, an RBI single, and scored 1. Madison Bumgarner has grounded to third, flied to right, and single to left. So every Giant with a hit. Now it'll be for Carl, Carroll, and Ethier in the bottom of the 6th inning. There was another note we gave you earlier about Madison Bumgarner, talking about the numbers 3 through 6 in the lineup for every team that he has faced. Collectively, they're hitting less than .210. And you look at the Dodger lineup tonight, they have a total of 4 hits and no runs. Fouled away. 1-1. Another pattern for Bumgarner, and of course he's young enough really that he hasn't established that much of a pattern, but his big troubles are usually in the first 3 innings of the games he has started. That's fouled away. He's allowed 2 earned runs in the last 16 innings of the games he has pitched. And right now, he's allowed 1 earned run in his last 19 innings. 2-2. Pitch count up to 80. First inning made only 8 pitches. Little foul. Still 2-2 to Rafael Furcal. Madison is 6'4", 220-pounder, and he will be 21 August 1st. And it will be a Giant Dodger game in San Francisco. Happy birthday. Ball 3. Of course, Bumgarner, even in the minor leagues, got a lot of attention. At one stage 2 years ago, he had a scoreless streak of 38 1/3 scoreless inning. There it goes. Furcal got all of that. Gone. Rafael Furcal hits his 7th home run of the year and the 3rd right-handed. So that breaks the spell. It also pumps up the crowd a little bit as the Dodgers get on the scoreboard. For Bumgarner, that would be the 4th home run that he has allowed. Rafael's 7th. That's a strike. 0-1. Jamie Carroll grounded to third, lined out to third. So Madison gives up a run. Giants lead 4-1. And line to center, coming up Torres to play it on a bounce. And now we see Bruce Bochy leave his position in the dugout, say something to Dave Righetti, and we'll see if Righetti gets on the phone. Yep. The Bumgarner, remember, gave up 2 hits in the 5th inning. Then gives up 2 hits to start the 6th. So he's allowed 4 hits in the last 1 inning plus. And the Dodgers trying to perk up now with Ethier. Tapped out in front of the plate, grounded to short. 0-2. Slow breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Andre, 15 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Off the plate. The Madison Bumgarner led 2-0, 4-0. Now it's 4-1. Nobody out, 6th inning. Fastball. And Ethier almost lost his balance like Xavier Paul. Didn't go down, but close. Guillermo Mota gets up down in the Giant bullpen. So he is certainly familiar with the territory. Casey Blake on deck. And a pretty good fastball to put Ethier on the shelf. Right there. Nothing fancy about it. Out over the plate. Ethier had a good rip and he came up empty. It is not as if Bumgarner is overpowering. He's not pitching like a Randy Johnson or Steve Carlton. He's just staying ahead of the count. Took a little off that. Ball 1. Casey grounded to third and walked. Hitting .250. Carroll at first, 1 out. 4-1 Giants, 6th inning. One thing Bumgarner has done by picking off Matt Kemp so easily in the 2nd inning. I don't say he's intimidating Dodger base runners, but they've been burned, so they're being very cautious. pull foul. 2-1. Posey going out to talk to Bumgarner. That fastball in the high 80s. He is not somebody who's going out there and throwing 94, 95. Not at all. 2-1. Whack foul. The Casey's had a couple of good rips. Foul them both. Both of them were on fastballs under 90 miles an hour. You look at Bumgarner and you figure he's a quiet kid raised on a ranch. Very once in a while he'll lose his temper. He was in a Coastal League game last year in June, and he was suspended 3 games. He walked off the field. He was unhappy with the plate umpire, and he threw the baseball into center field. And the umpire ran him for arguing about a pickoff attempt, so he was suspended. And he runs that in on Blake's hands, a slider. So the fastball right now is around 88. The slider at 84, and 3-2 the count. One out, Carroll at first. Bumgarner gives the base runner a look just before he comes to the plate. Breaking ball lifted to right field. It's playable. Schierholtz will the catch. So holding on is Carroll, and we have 2 down. So after a couple of good rips at fastballs, he got a couple of sliders and flies to right. And now the batter, James Loney. Bumgarner, fastball, the slider we've seen a lot of. Changeup needs a lot of work, they say, but he's also added a cutter. A lot of people who remember Chuck Finley when he pitched mostly for the Angels say that Bumgarner reminds him of Finley. Ball 1. Loney is flied to left, hit back to the box. Bumgarner, young, full of beans, 20 years old. He'd be 21, Aug 1. Used to do a lot of throwing when he wasn't pitching on the sidelines in the outfield. They finally had to caution him about overthrowing. Because the left-hander I will never forget for throwing constantly was Hall of Famer Warren Spahn. Spahn would go in the outfield, catch fly balls, and throw to the bases. He was amazing. Now Bumgarner is working hard. He's made 23 pitches in the inning. So that would get him up to 99 pitches in the game. And Bochy is very much aware of that. 3-0. And ball 4. So he's not 21 yet, and he could be running out of petrol. And here comes Bochy. He's not going to let him pitch to Matt Kemp, apparently. According to the gun, in watching him, the velocity was starting to drop. We told you that 2 fastballs in a row to Casey Blake were 88, 89. Then the sliders at 84, and the slider got Blake. But now, when he walks Loney, time to hook him. And we'll be back. 25-year-old McDonald going head-to-head. Bumgarner made 100 pitches, but he also received 4 runs. McDonald had nothing while he was out there as far as runs on the scoreboard. And finally, Rafael Furcal broke through with his home run. So Bumgarner could win, but it'll be up to the bullpen, and the former Dodger, Guillermo Mota, will come in and pick up. Mota is 0-3, but a good ERA of 3 with a save. With the Dodgers back in 0-2, 3-4, and then again briefly after that for 1 more year. Mota is from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican. He's a big guy, 6'6", 210, and he has 2 on, 2 out, and a 3-run lead to protect. And ball 1 to Matt Kemp. Looking up Mota going against Kemp. Matt is 0 for 4 in the past, but he was 2 for 2 against Bumgarner. 1 ball and no strikes. That's in there. In looking at Madison Bumgarner, when he was in the minor leagues, he was basically a 6-inning pitcher. He had 1 7 and another 7 2/3. However, he's pitched longer in his 4 previous starts, 2 7s, an 8, and in his last game 6. 1-1. Back in 03, when Mota pitched for the Dodgers, his earned run average that year was 1.9. Without a doubt, his finest year in the majors. 1-1. Two years ago with the Brewers, ERA over 4. The year before that with the Mets, an ERA of almost 6. 1-1 to Matt Kemp, who is 2 for 2, twice single to left, hitting .262. Time. Nice to know what's coming if you're an infielder. So Sanchez wanted to get in on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Meanwhile, his ball game is in the balance. And there's the pickoff throw, and it's low. Gets away, and over to third goes Carroll, and down to second goes Loney. So Sanchez and Mota had a huddle, and it turns out to be a very expensive result. Low throw. They'll give Mota the error, I'm sure. A better throw might have had a better outcome for the Giants. So now first base open. 2 out, 1 ball and 1 strike. Slider down and away. Over at third base, Jamie Carroll, James Loney at second. Remember, he's had a tight hamstring. Meanwhile, Bumgarner sweating it out. Ground ball, fair ball, and a tag. Smart play by Sandoval. And the Dodgers wind up with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. And at the end of 6, 4-1 Giants. It's 4-1. When we come back out of commercial, you see the score is 4-2. It is this close. Sandoval is going to tag the runner, but look at the runner towards home plate. It looks like he has not scored as the tag is being made. Bruce Bochy came out and argued with Mike Everett, and the play went the Dodgers' way. So give the Giants and Bochy an extra run. That pickoff by Mota turns out to be a run-producing play. And the Dodgers get back in the game 4-2. So Mike Everett felt that Carroll had scored before Loney was tagged out. And into the seventh we go. Posey, Sandoval, and Uribe against Monasterios. Foul ball. Posey has walked, singled, knocked one in, scored one. Oh, and 1. That's a strike. Posey was almost straight A in college, a finance major. He made the dean's list 2 years. He was named to the president's list for a 4.0 GPA. Bright young man. Little ground ball to Furcal. One away. 4-2 in favor of the Giants, and the batter is Pablo Sandoval. Single to right, doubled in a run, flied out. Down in the Dodger bullpen, George Schierholtz begins to loosen up, along with Travis Schlichting. Sandoval singled, doubled, and flied out. 2 for 3. Giants 4, Dodgers 2. Dodgers given the run since it was not a forced play at third on the tag. Even that could have been disputed, and Bochy was annoyed. So a 3-run lead is cut to 2, and a fly ball to Jamie Carroll. Jamie playing left field, that's his first chance on a fly ball. He did have to run down Sandoval's double in the third inning. So 2 out, and here's Uribe. Single, tapped out, struck out. 1 for 3. Fastball strike. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, Belliard, Martin, and then Monasterios spot. Another strike. 0-2. One and 2. Waiting on deck, Travis Ishikawa, who is 1 for 2, single and a walk. Little ground ball, whoops, almost going the wrong way with Belliard. He saw it coming off the bat a different way. He broke to his right and then had to come back and get it. So the Giants, for really only the second time tonight, go out in order. And at the end of 6 1/2, 4-2 Giants. And now God bless America and take me out to the ball game.
At this time, we ask, please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Once again, please welcome Michael Johns.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Ronnie Belliard, Russell Martin, and then we'll see about a hitter for Carlos Monasterios. They've already used Xavier Paul. So Guillermo Mota had a big part in that 6th inning. His attempted pickoff at second base set up the second run to score when the tag was made, and in the umpire's judgment, the runner had already touched home plate. Right. Belliard grounded to short, hit one up the middle, turned into a double play. 0-1. And popped up. Back of the plate, Posey. You know, Posey is remarkable when you realize, among other things, he was an All-American shortstop. He went behind the plate. He was still used at Florida State 7 or 8 times as a closer. And he pitched in the College World Series after 8 innings of catching. I mean, he is really quite a kid. Buster Posey. And with one away, here's Russell Martin. Garrett Anderson coming up the steps will hit for Monasterios. Fouled away. Guillermo Mota is backed up in the bullpen. Among other things, he is due to bat third in the 8th inning. So they have Sergio Romo and Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander. Martin 2 for 2 against Bumgarner. Fouled away, 0-2. Russell hitting .247, 5 home runs, 22 runs batted in. 1 out, 7th inning, 4-2 Giants. They led 2-0, 4-0, and then 4-2. Just did get a little bit of a jumping fastball. That was clocked at 97. Boy, that thing really came to the plate in a hurry. Oh, and 2. Slider, and a hard-breaking slider to put him away. So 2 down in the 7th inning, and Garrett Anderson coming up. You know, tomorrow, James Loney bobblehead night presented by Carl's Jr. First 50,000 fans will take home their very own little big game James. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com, call 866-DODGERS, and then settle back and watch Tim Lincecum versus Clayton Kershaw. And you start to project how many times over how many years in Giant Dodger games will Clayton Kershaw go up against Tim Lincecum. Ball 1 to Garrett Anderson, hitting .188, 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Off the plate, 2-0. Anderson has had a good deal of success against Mota. He is not only 3 for 10, all 3 were home runs. 2-1. Mota, of course, has bounced around with the Expos, Dodgers, Marlins, Indians, Mets, Brewers, and Dodgers again. 2-1. Ball 3. 2 out, 7th inning, 4-2 Giants, although in his heart Bruce Bochy feels it should be 4-1. And no swing. So Anderson draws the walk, and that'll bring up Rafael Furcal. Furcal had grounded out, hit into a force play, and then came up in the 6th inning against Bumgarner and hit it out. No mistake about it. Hit it way back into the Dodger bullpen. So Rafael coming around, having hit his 7th home run, 4 left, 3 right. Bruce Bochy now is coming out to talk to the plate umpire. That usually means position changes. That usually means more than just bringing in a pitcher. So let's see. First of all, we got to figure out Edgar Renteria is going to bring his glove and play shortstop. Uribe made the last out in the 7th inning, so he's coming out. The pitcher will go in Uribe's spot. We'll tell you all about it after this. changes. Edgar Renteria will take over at shortstop and bat ninth. Uribe comes out, and Sergio Romo will go into Uribe's spot. Sergio is somewhat of a local boy. He's from Brawley, went to Mesa State College in Colorado. And if you talk to Sergio, he can tell you about the first major league game he ever saw. He was an 11-year-old sitting next to the foul pole in the left field corner. His family used to come to see Rudy Cianez from the Imperial Valley. That turns for call around, and he takes a strike. And, of course, Rafael's numbers are better as a left-handed batter. From this side, he's hitting .338. 4 of his 7 home runs hit left-handed. 0-1. And a base hit into right field. So instead of trying to keep Furcal batting right-handed, they bring in Romo. That turns Rafael around, and he says thank you very much, and probably singles to right. Now Jamie Carroll. Jamie Carroll grounded to third, lined out to Sandoval, who made a great catch, and singled in the 6th inning. Carroll hitting .289. 2 on, 2 out, 4-2 Giants. Dodgers making a run at the Giants in each of the last 3 innings. 2 hits but a double play slowed them down in the 5th. In the 6th inning, the Dodgers got a big break, not only on the home run, but on the tag at third, allowing the run to score. Now the Dodgers have the tying runs aboard. Slow breaking ball, 2-0 the count. When Sergio Romo was sitting down there in the left field corner as an 11-year-old right by the foul pole, Raul Mondesi hit a home run for him that day, and he was hooked. He's 27, 5'11", about 180. 2-0. And he misses. So now you have Andre Ethier waiting on deck, and you have Jeremy Affeldt down in the bullpen. Three and 0. And he walked in to load the bases. So Jeremy Affeldt will be brought in to go after Andre Ethier. And just for all of us to think about it, Andre is 2 for 10 against Affeldt. He has 2 grand slams, both of them this year, in April against the Giants, and in May a walk-off slam against the Brewers. Both slams for Andre Ethier were here at Dodger Stadium. We'll be back. bases loaded, 2 out, 7th inning, and the Giants trying to hold on to a 4-2 lead. This is only the 4th time all year Ethier has come up with the bases loaded, and he's homered in 2 of the 3 previous at-bats. Jeremy Affeldt, well, if you look at his background, I guess he's accustomed to some pressure, a chip off the old block. His dad was a bombardier in the Air Force. He flew B-52s. He was stationed in Guam, so Affeldt grew up there in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades. And then after his father retired from the Air Force, he became a 911 operator. Well, 911 has been dialed. Affeldt has been called in, and he'll go head-to-head with Andre Ethier. So Anderson is at 3rd. Percall is at 2nd. Carroll is at 1st, and this crowd beside itself. Ball 1. Affeldt 2-3, an ERA over 4, and he's fighting his control. 20 walks, 28 strikeouts. He's 6'4", 220. Fastball, 1-1. The thing about Affeldt that's not needed for the Giants now, last year he had 10 bases full scenes, and 6 of the 10 he induced the hitter to ground into a double play. He turned 18 double plays, almost double anybody else's in relief. But he now needs just 1 out. 1-1. Fastball, ground ball to Ishikawa, feeding his man coming over. So the Dodgers get the bases loaded with 2 out, fail to come up with the big one, and at the end of 7, 4-2 Giants. Giants and Dodgers rolling around in the dirt. 4-2 Giants in the 8th inning. The Dodgers make a double switch. They bring in George Schierholtz, and Garrett Anderson had already entered the game as a pinch hitter. So Anderson bats 9th, stays in the game in left field, and Schierholtz goes in Jamie Carroll's spot. For George, it has been a struggle trying to find that elusive ingredient that did him so well last year. And he'll face Ishikawa, ball one. Ishikawa, being a left-handed batter, just 0 for 1 against Schierholtz in the past. 2-0. Travis hitting .342. 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Two and one. McDonald, Monasterios, and Schierholtz. The Giants with Bumgarner, Mota, Romo, and Affeld. Slow breaking ball for a strike. 2-2. George out of Tennessee, 33 years old. An even 6, 225. Originally signed by the Mariners, then went to the Orioles and then the Dodgers. Last year, in 30 games, his earned run average was .6, but he walks the left-hand hitter. So the batter is another left-hand hitter, Nate Schierholtz, and then the shortstop, Edgar Renteria, batting ninth. Schierholtz popped up, hit a 2-run home run, which is now the difference in the game, and grounded out. Four runs, 10 hits for the Giants. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Schierholtz now is backed up by Jeff Weaver in the bullpen. Schierholtz checking with Tim Flannery. One ball and no strikes. Schierholtz is hitting better against left-handers than right-handers. Came into the game hitting .230 against right, .310 against left. But he did hit the home run against right-hander McDonald, and now Rick Honeycutt going out to talk to Schierholtz. For Nate Schierholtz, they gave you a little earlier. It was his 72nd career at bat against the Dodgers when he hit that home run. So it was a long time coming. All right, the meeting is a brief one. Schierholtz followed by Renteria. Giants have been very quiet since they scored 2 in the 4th inning. Since the 4th inning, they had just a single. The Dodgers have been making noise, but they're fortunate to have 2. That's a strike. 1-1. And ball 2. Renteria, waiting on deck, is hitting .297. Two and 1. 2-2. And tried to hit that inside corner and just missed. 3-2, nobody out. Ishikawa had Roberto Kelly come over to say something to him. Foul back. Big pitch for Schierholtz for sure. Foul back. George has been fighting it ever since spring training began. We've seen him come in, pitch to one hitter, give up a walk or a base hit, and they hook him. You know, hitters talk about waiting on a pitch. Schierholtz gave him a slow curve, and watch this swing. Just at the last second, he slapped down on that slow curveball to stay alive. 3-2 to Nate. Four-two Giants. Top of the eighth. Ishikawa at first. Curveball. Still 3-2. This will be the 10th pitch to Nate Schierholtz. So quite a battle going on. 3-2. All right, make it 11. And I would think all the pressure is on Schierholtz right now. George knows right-hand hitter on deck. Weaver's throwing back of him. He has to keep throwing strikes. So this will be the 11th pitch. Curveball. Make it 12. Well, he's had some slow swings on the curveball, and then George tries to get the fastball on the inside corner. There it is, and it's popped up. So a 12-pitch at bat. Schierholtz pops it up. That was a big battle for Schierholtz. Now here comes Joe, and Schierholtz will be coming out, but at least he comes out after fighting and winning that battle with Schierholtz. So a 12-pitch at bat, and Schierholtz won it. So now with Renteria coming up, George will leave and Jeff Weaver will come in. If you're wondering about who would close if the Dodgers got the lead, it would be Hung-Chi Kuo, not Jonathan Broxton. We'll be back. One away in the 8th, and the Giants leading the Dodgers 4-2. He'll face Edgar Renteria, and he's had great success against Renteria in the past. Renteria is just 2 for 17 against Jeff Weaver. That would be a 118 batting average. But Renteria has been around, been through the mill. He will be 34 the first week in August. He was the boy from Barranquilla in Colombia when he anchored shortstop for the Marlins, who became world champions back in 1996. He has one man at first, Ishikawa, one out in the 8th, 4-2 Giants. And ball 1. Edgar Renteria in 2006, by that time was with the Braves, and he began the year with a 23-game hitting streak. One and 0. 1-1. Over the last 40 years, the top 4 hitting streaks to begin his season was Edgar's 23, Ron LaFleur's 30, Steve Garvey's 21, and Joe Torre's 22-game hitting streak to start the year off for the Cardinals in 1971. And of course, Joe went on to be the MVP that year. 1-1. One and 2. One slider after another. Renteria has struck out twice as much as he has walked. 25 strikeouts, 13 walks. And ground ball base hit into left field. So Renteria comes up with a rare base hit for him against Weaver. And that puts Giants at first and second. And Andres Torres coming up. 4 runs, 11 hits for the Giants. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Torres grounded out, doubled to right, struck out, and flied to right. And ball 1. Torres, considering his at-bats, sure has a lot of extra base hits. 27 doubles, 4 triples, and 8 home runs. He's high up in the league in the highest rate in extra base hits to total hits. So Weaver has his hands full here. Torres batting .278. 2 on, 1 out, 4-2 Giants, 8th inning. Fastball missed. So Weaver 3-0, and on deck Freddy Sanchez. No action in the Dodger bullpen. By the way, Sanchez in the past is hitting .471 against Weaver. And that's ball 4. So here comes Freddy with the bases loaded. So first we saw Renteria, who rarely gets a base hit against Weaver, single or left. Now the Dodgers really have their hands full. Sanchez, that .471 batting average, he is 8 for 17 against Jeff. And Honeycutt going out to the mound with Aubrey Huff on deck. Remember the note on Sanchez, the fact that he's hitting a little over 400 when he's ahead in the count. Tonight he has lined out twice and singled, so he's hit the ball hard. 3 of his 4 at-bats. As far as Grand Slam home runs are concerned, he has 2. 3 years ago, he hit a slam against Cincinnati. And last year, he hit a home run against Detroit, Grand Slam. So Freddie finds the bases loaded. Ishikawa, Renteria, and Torres. 1 out. Fastball strike. 0-1. Sanchez batting .275. 1 home run, 26 runs batted in. Chased a slider way off the plate. Boy, what a big break on that pitch. 0-2. Justin Miller now is up in the pen. Look at that thing sail away. 0-2. Just did get a little piece of another slider. Now trying to think along with the pitcher and the catcher. You've seen him go after those sliders away. Are you going to try and bust a fastball in on him? Well, we'll see. 0-2. And a little dunker to right. Ethier comes over to steer it. Tagging up at third and coming in to score, but the Giants run the bases into a double play. The run, however, I believe scored, as the Giants take a page out of the old Dodger book. Meanwhile, Joe Torre, who got the benefit of a big call, I think is going to be talking about base runners passing each other. So we have ourselves another little mess here. They haven't changed the score yet, but that's what it should be. 5-2 Giants. And believe it or not, we'll be back. Be that the scales balance out over a long year. Well, in tonight's game, it would appear as if the scales have balanced out. The Dodgers got a run on a tag play by Sandoval at third, even though the video highlight showed that the runner had not gotten to home plate. So that made it 4-2. Boshi argued good loss. Now in the 8th inning, it appeared as if 2 Giants passed each other near second base, and the run is still allowed because at the time the third out was on the throw to Loney at first base. Otherwise, the third out would have been the 2 runners passing each other, and the runner coming from third would not have scored. So either way, instead of 4-1, it's 5-2. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Casey Blake. Boshi argued and lost. Torrey argued and lost. Casey grounded out, walked, flied out, 0 for 2. Jeremy Affeldt trying to get the ball to Brian Wilson. He's the closer. And Brian's down in the pen. Wilson has 25 saves. 1-2. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fastball, pop foul, Posey coming over. No play. Five runs, 11 hits for the Giants. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. And we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. James Loney on deck. Fastball punch to Sanchez. One away in the 8th. James Loney coming up. Flied to left, hit back to the box, and walked. So Loney 0 for 2. One thing about Jeremy Affeldt, he feels very safe on the mound and not in the ocean. That's right. He has a deep-seated fear of sharks. When he was 8 years old, a lifeguard had to rush into the ocean in Guam to save him from a shark. Then 3 months later, he was caught in an undertow and had to be saved. And on his honeymoon in Bora Bora, his wife finally was able to cajole him. Come on, Jeremy, don't be a sissy. Come into the water. He took 2 steps into the ocean, came face to face with a reef shark, and has not been in the water since. 0-2. One and 2 to Loney. 1 out, bases empty, 8th inning, 5-2 Giants. One breaking ball after another. 2-2 the count. Affeldt and Loney. Loney is 2 for 8 with a home run against him in the past. Fastball way off the plate. Waiting on deck, Matt Kemp. Three and 2. Big curveball. Oh, that was a beauty. That's the best pitch he'd made. Oh. When Roy Campanella called that public enemy #1, have a picture of that and put it on the walls of post offices. Look at this thing. Up there and down there. So with 2 out in the 8th inning, Matt Kemp coming up. Matt twice singled to left against Bumgarner and reached on the fielder's choice. That was the tag by Sandoval where the Dodgers got the extra run. That's the last run they've scored. Giants in the 9th inning will have Huff, Posey, and Sandoval. Fastball 2-0. Jeremy, 31 years old, lives in Medical Lake, Washington. 2-1. Nice thing about Jeremy, he started the Jeremy Affel Foundation, created Generation Alive. It's a youth ministry. Speaks to high schools, kids about leadership, vision, dreams, choices. Fastball and base hit into left field. So Matt Kemp, a 2-out single and his 3rd hit of the night, and that'll bring up Belliard. You know, the Coca-Cola Value Pack is now available Thursday. Includes 4 tickets, 4 Dodger dogs, 4 Cokes, and 4 Kemp action figures for $17 per seat. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/specials or call 866-DODGERS. All right, Affeld had retired 3 in a row, but he gives up a base hit to Kemp. Here's Belliard, hitting .222, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Fastball. Didn't catch up to it. That was 91. 0-1 to Ronnie Belliard. Don't forget tomorrow night, Tim Lincecum and Clayton Kershaw. On 1. Fastball in the dirt. New ball put in play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Affeld hits 92 on the gun. Wednesday, it'll be Barry Zito and Chad Billingsley. Tomorrow night, Lincecum and Kershaw on KCAL 9. Breaking ball, a dandy. 1-2. That curveball at 79. He struck out Loney with a dandy deuce, as they used to call it. The catcher wigwagging 2 fingers for curve. And a breaking ball in the dirt and lost as it bounces into the stand. Posey was saying, I think the ball hit the batter. So let's see. The plate umpire, Mike Everett, is looking for a little help from the baseline umpires. Tim McClellan, the tallest of the 4. Here's the pitch. Let's take a look. First of all, did he swing? It hit him on the right foot. He swung. He's out. That's what they wanted. So Belliard is called out. You swing at a pitch, doesn't make any difference if it hits you. So it's ruled a strikeout. And that'll end the inning. This has been a little bit of a wacky Giant Dodger game. Heavens knows there have been so many over the past. So we're heading now to the 9th inning. 5-2 Giants. Couple of off-the-cuff plays, a bad pickoff that put Dodgers at second and third, and it helped to get a gift. Watch Sandoval and watch the other side of your screen. Sandoval tags. The runner has not gotten to home plate, and yet the Dodgers were given that run. And the run should not have counted. However, the scales balance on a fly ball to right field. The Giants are going to run themselves out of an inning. The Dodgers thought that perhaps Torres had passed the runner, and that would be Renteria. But the Dodgers lost that argument. So we get to the ninth inning, and it's 5-2 Giants. And here's Aubrey Huff hitting .302. Giant pitchers have pitched a dangerous game. Giant pitchers have had 11 3-ball counts, and yet the Dodgers have scored only 2 runs. Furcall's home run did come on a 3-2 pitch. 7 of the 11 Giant hits have come when the hitter was behind in the count. That's pop foul behind the plate. Martin a look, very doubtful, and it's on the other side of the screen. The paid attendance tonight, 45,056. 45,056. Quite a few folks have seen a lot of baseball already, and we're just in the top of the ninth inning. 2-1. Two and 2 to Aubrey. Huff grounded out, flied to right, single to right, flied to center. 1 for 4. McDonald, Monasterios, Schierholtz, and Weaver. Hit down the line, slicing foul all the way. Still 2-2 to Aubrey Huff. And a drive to right. We'll just watch. Foul ball. Aubrey has 17 home runs, 54 runs batted in, hitting .302. He's hit as many as 34 for the Devil Rays. That was 7 years ago. And a high strike. Down he goes. Upper part of the strike zone. 1 out in the ninth inning. Pretty good late movement on that thing. You think of high fastballs rising. That fastball seemed to dip at the last minute. Buster Posey hitting .353. Fouled away. He walked, singled in a run, scored a run, struck out, grounded out. 1 for 3. Giants hit the skids there for a while. End of June into July. They lost 7 in a row. And then Posey came along to play every day. And they went on to stop Boshi from scratching his head by winning 8 out of 10 and 10 out of 13. Little slider catches the corner. 1 and 2. That's a money pitch for Weaver. Down he goes. So Huff and Posey strike out, and the batter now is Sandoval. Nice bit of relief for Weaver. Pablo Sandoval singled and doubled, flied to center, flied to left, 2 for 4. Sandoval 1 for 7 in the past against Weaver. So look ahead for the Dodgers in the 9th inning. They will have Russell Martin, followed by Garrett Anderson, and then Rafael Furcal. And that's hit to left field. Anderson has singled. So the Giants really slowed down after a very noisy 4 innings. They really only had a couple of hits ever since, but they're leading 5-2, bottom of the 9th. Russell Martin, Garrett Anderson, and Rafael Furcal. If anybody gets on, there'll be a hitter for Weaver. Dodgers still have a couple of people available to come off the bench. They have Blake DeWitt and they have A.J. Ellis. I don't believe there's any way they would mess around with Manny Ramirez. So Brian Wilson, who throws so hard coming in. Brian is 6'1", 205, 28 years old, and it's a mystery how hard he throws, having undergone Tommy John surgery. And Martin late fouls it away, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Of course, then again, a miracle of science would be to have Brian Wilson pitching against Hung-Chi Kuo. Wilson lives in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Went to school at LSU. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martin single to right, single to left, and struck out. Fastball hit up the middle. Now that was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and Martin grounds it. And the batter will be Garrett Anderson. So Matt Kemp has 3 hits. Russell Martin has 3 hits. And Anderson, who came off the bench, drew a walk as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. The Padres were not scheduled today. They'll open up a series in Atlanta tomorrow. And the Rockies let one get away. The Marlins beat them 9-8. Ball 1. 96 on the gun, but he looked like he was overthrowing. there's Madison Bumgarner. He's still alive to pick up the win. He was 2-2, made 100 pitches. That's a strike. 1-1. And looking at Wilson going against the Dodgers, Anderson has never faced him. Rafael for a call on deck. Wilson does not have a curveball. He has a cutter. And down goes Garrett, unable to catch up to one of those fastballs. Rafael for call. Grounded out, hit into a force play, homered and singled. He homered right-handed, singled left-handed, and he is 1 for 8 in the past against Brian Wilson. Blake DeWitt comes out on deck. He would hit for Weaver. 1 out in the ninth, 5-2 Giants. Oh and 1. Tomorrow night, Tim Lincecum and Clayton Kershaw. That's a marquee matchup for sure. There's Clayton working on the gum, and there's Lincecum. They'll go head-to-head tomorrow night, KCAL 9. And then back on prime ticket, Barry Zito and Chad Billingsley Wednesday night. Right. For Wilson, who throws so hard, he has walked 16 and he has struck out 55. So better than 3-1. 0-2. Still 0-2. Hit to left field. So basically it's one fastball after another, and the Dodgers now have 2 base hits, and Blake DeWitt representing the potential tying run at the plate. And Rafael just was either late on the fastball or drove it to left. Take your pick. But either way, he comes up with his 3rd hit. Wilson, with that strikeout to walk ratio, is good. His earned run average is 2. And here's DeWitt. Blake hitting .273. Home run, 29 runs batted in. DeWitt is 0 for 6 against Wilson, striking out 4 of the 6 times. Ball 1. One ball and no strike. And he missed again. Brian has dabbled in kickboxing, Thai training, martial arts. Right now he needs a fastball for strikes. 2-0. And a strike. Whoa, Blake DeWitt takes a little walk in the crowd, does a little umpiring. 2-1 the count. Posey did a pretty good job of making that look like a strike, that's for sure. 2-1 to DeWitt. And he's going to be ruled swinging on that. 2-2 the count. Ball players over the years, especially when they weren't making big money, have some interesting off-season jobs. Brian Wilson worked one summer straightening out old gravestones in the local cemetery in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Got him. Pretty tough to be sitting on the bench all night and go up against the guy in the ninth inning who's throwing 98. And DeWitt just couldn't catch up to that fastball. So Andre Ethier gets one more shot. Ethier had the dramatic moment. He was 0 for 3 in the seventh inning when he came up with the bases loaded against Jeremy Affeldt, and Affeldt got him to ground out. That was the big moment for the Dodgers up to now. How has he fared against Wilson? Ethier 0 for 4. And ball one. One other thought on your mind, and we always try to read your mind. Brian Wilson has allowed 1 home run. And ball 2. So Wilson has given up 2 singles, and he has struck out 2. Bottom of the ninth, 5-2 Giants. Fouled away. Padres were idle. They had an off day today. So if the Giants win, they would trail San Diego by 4. If the Dodgers lose, they would trail San Diego by 6. That's been their biggest deficit this year. Most recently, they trailed the Padres by 6 back on May the 8th. 2 on, 2 out, 5-2 Giants, 9th inning. Off the plate. On deck, Casey Blake. So it's come down to a 3-1 count with 2 out. Martin and Furcall out on the lines. And way out, and the bases are loaded. So now Casey Blake will be coming up. Dave Righetti going out to counsel Brian Wilson. Casey Blake tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. And as far as Casey and Brian Wilson are concerned, Blake is 1 for 7. That one a home run, but he's also struck out 4 times. Wilson is working awfully hard. He's already made 21 pitches in the inning. And Casey Blake, who has 4 career grand slams, the last one he hit 2 years ago in Kansas City. So it's on the line. There have been 3 bases loaded situations tonight. That's right. The Giants had the bases loaded and nobody out in the second inning and failed to score. The Dodgers had the bases loaded with 2 out in the 7th inning and failed to score. And the Dodgers now have the bases loaded 2 out in the 9th as Matt Cain and Madison Bumgarner look on. 0-2 to Casey. So Wilson, who struck out Anderson and struck out DeWitt, now has Blake 0-2. Got it. So a lot of fastballs, and when it's all over, Wilson strikes out the side. He made 24 pitches, so it wasn't easy. Though he strikes out 3, gives up 2 hits and a walk. He gets a scare and a save. Bumgarner picks up a victory. He's now 3-2.